At the Stafford SRX Race, engines rev, tires shriek, and adrenaline fills the air. Can Tony Stewart prove he's a better driver than a crew chief? Will this pit wall strategy outperform his famed driving? Will he prove himself in both spheres at the checkered flag? Join us as we enter Tony Stewart's high-octane world and watch the struggle that will decide racing's ultimate question. So, hello Mascarians, and welcome back to NASCAR Zone. But before we begin, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Tony Stewart is widely considered to be one of the most talented race car drivers in the annals of American racing history. He has had success in NASCAR, IndyCar, late models, and the NHRA as of late during the course of his lengthy and distinguished career. However, there are some things that even someone with as much brilliance and accomplishment as Stewart is simply incapable of doing, such as serving as a crew chief. Stewart joked,
I don't know. I'm a better driver than I am a crew chief, obviously.
Yeah, but a lot of brakes were kind of failing tonight. Were yours getting a little hot there? Or?
No, I took care of mine. I mean, I got word on the radio that guys were blowing brakes early, so it's I don't know. We haven't had that trouble here normally.
Stewart's confession illustrates his profound connection to racing and the genuine delight he feels in driving. He is known for his fierce passion and competitive attitude on the track. Tony Stewart continues to wow spectators with his unequaled talents and determination on the SRX circuit. And while he recognizes the importance of the crew chief's role in achieving success, he stays strong in his view that his genuine talent lies in racing itself. Tony Stewart has graciously confessed that he is at his best driving rather than sitting atop the pit box in the role of crew chief. Stewart admitted in a frank interview that although he has a profound comprehension of the mechanics and dynamics of racing, his true passion and prowess lie in the driver's seat. Stewart is a three-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Stewart earned his place as one of the sport's all-time greats by accumulating a number of triumphs and titles over the course of his storied career. He knew that his ability to read the track, push the limits, and make split-second judgments on the track was what set him apart from the competition, despite the fact that his knowledge of car setups and racing strategy was indisputable. Through his open and honest expression of his self-awareness, Stewart demonstrated a real humility that struck a chord not only with viewers but also with his fellow rivals. His career as a race car driver, who later became a team owner and mentor, will go on as a legacy that will continue to motivate future generations of drivers by demonstrating the necessity of identifying and capitalizing on one's individual skills, responsibilities. As he drove his car to the edge of its capabilities on the track, he reflected that it had been a good race, one that was full of adrenaline and excitement. The cheers of the crowd reverberated in his ears, providing him with additional surge of motivation. On the other hand, he was struggling beneath the surface with the weight of the obligations that came with being crew chief. It was a challenging endeavor for him to manage the responsibilities of leading the team and making important decisions about strategy, while at the same time concentrating on improving his own ability behind the wheel of the race car. During the course of the race, his thoughts would periodically wander to the pit wall, where his team was standing, in anticipation of receiving instructions and directions. He began to struggle with uncertainty and self-doubt, but he was well aware that he could not fail his colleagues. In spite of the fight he was having on the inside, he kept his determination because he knew that his position as a driver and a leader were connected. As the checkered flag flew, he couldn't help but feel a mixture of pride and relief, knowing that he had given it his best, both on the track and in his duty as a dedicated crew chief. He knew that he had done everything in his power to help the team win, and it showed. Tell us about your thoughts on Tony's management style. Comment below and subscribe to our channel. Problem with brakes. During the competition, the course presented a difficult obstacle for many drivers, and several of them had trouble with their brake systems as a result. Tony, on the other hand, is a veteran and skilled racer who was able to maintain his composure despite the mayhem that was going on around him. He noted that his brakes were behaving wonderfully, responding to each of his commands with accuracy as he sped through the twists and turns of the course. It wasn't just dumb luck that allowed Tony to take care of his brakes. Rather, it was the product of his careful planning and attention to the smallest of details. Before the competition, he and his crew had invested a large number of hours in fine-tuning the vehicle and making certain that each component was in the best possible condition. Tony was able to breeze through the race, making up ground on his rivals while being in complete command of the situation because of the hard work and dedication he put into it. Tony, how do you feel about the issue of people taking breaks? Leave comment. He was not a mechanic, and he was completely honest about that fact. His understanding of automobiles was confined to the fundamentals of driving, such as how to start the engine and put gas in the tank. Although some people might have found the concept of repairing vehicles exciting, he preferred to let professionals handle the complexities involved in mending automobiles.
How much a struggle is it going to be to get these cars fixed up, brakes fixed up and stuff before next week, Motor Mile?
Well, apparently you missed the part where I said I'm not a mechanic.
Right.
So
Sure.
you need to ask Rick Wren and Kevin Ridley. There's the guys that have to work on these things, but they got a lot of work to do. Some tore up cars this week.
Yeah.
Tony was suddenly confronted with a challenging assignment. He needed to complete an insurmountable amount of work for all 4 of his cars during this week. The ardent auto enthusiast and devoted owner took a great deal of care in the maintenance of his cherished vehicles, but at this point, it appeared to be a difficult undertaking. Each of his vehicles required individualized care and attention, including preventative maintenance, such as oil changes and tire rotations, as well as the resolution of some persistent difficulties that required the assistance of a training specialist. Tony planned out his week with extreme attention to detail, planning his responsibilities in such a way as to guarantee that no vehicle would go unattended. He was resolute in his approach, as seen by the fact that he gathered all of his instruments and spare components, fully preparing himself to devote a significant amount of time to the undertaking. Tony was confident that all of his labor would be worthwhile because he knew that his vehicles would operate faultlessly and continue to maintain their pristine condition. In spite of the volume of work, his interest in automobiles served as a source of motivation, propelling him to finish the assignments with the highest level of accuracy and enthusiasm. The SRX race at Stafford was a perfect example of Tony Stewart's unparalleled racing talent and fresh outlook on his skills. Stewart's years of experience in motorsports gave him an edge on race day, and his excellent talents and intuitive understanding of the circuit made him a winner. What really sets him apart, though, is the fact that he freely admits that he's a better driver than a crew chief. Tony Stewart has often shown during his career that he is uniquely adept at handling the pressures of professional racing. His driving skills are only equaled by his dedication to the sport. His self-awareness is on display when he recognizes his strengths as a driver and doesn't waste time trying to be the team's jack of all trades. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more of our incredible videos on NASCAR. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.